Hey guys, so this is a quick update. I just did a 400 round pistol class with Chris Cerino. That gets my round count to about 950. And of course, if you're going to have issues, you're going to have them in a class. And I had a couple issues with this, so I was going to share them with you. This is how I ran it. This is this is a Glock 17 with TLR inside waistband holster. It's from TR Holsters. They're a local company. They're like 5 minutes from where I work. I just like this design because it allows me to carry a light, and because they put the retention button up top, I don't have all this a lot of times there's like rivets down here and it kind of sticks out. I don't have all that, so I can actually get away with carrying this. So the issue I had was, well, there are two issues. One, before I went, I replaced the spring for the magazine release with the striker safety spring from my Glock 19, and that made the button nice and light. My concern was that when I grip the gun, I might accidentally hit the release. So with an empty gun or an empty magazine, the follower still touches the slide stop. And if you've got rounds in the gun and the slide's closed, then obviously there's spring pressure from the magazine. So when you look at, I don't know if you can see it, but if you look at the base plate as I press the magazine in, you can see it move in. So what's happening is when you're pressing this button, you're also fighting this magazine spring a little bit. Well, when the slide is back, like when you're firing, and there's rounds in the magazine, or if the slide's just locked back and there's rounds in the magazine, because there's no spring pressure, this thing just kind of rattles around. And this button, it feels as light as if this wasn't here. So what was happening was, when I was shooting fast strings, and I got a little lazy, my hand would come down a little bit, and as the gun started recoiling, I would press into it and drop the magazine in the middle of a string. And I ended up with this weird double feed where I had a round trying to go in the chamber and I had another one stovepiped behind it, and the round was sticking out the top of the magazine because the slide had closed as it was coming out, and it was just a rat's nest. And that happened to me twice. Chris noticed it and he was like, well, you're hitting the button. So he helped me, really correct my grip and suggested I probably stipple this area so my hand doesn't slip down. But I knew the real culprit was the fact that they put a stupid light spring in there. So I put the factory spring back in, and it's fine now. I did it during our lunch break, and it was fine. The other problem I had was a little bit later. The spring for the slide stop right here, somehow it worked its way off this little hook. So once it worked it off, this thing could just flop around. And so every other round, it would just slide lock. And we were actually doing malfunction drills at the time. So of course I'm getting slide lock thinking, oh, it's a reload. So I would just dump the mag. I was dumping full mags and doing slide lock reloads. Or I'd tap rack bang, and it wouldn't do anything because this thing would stay up and lock it up. So I think what happened was I probably bent this a little bit when I was doing all my little detail stripping and everything, or maybe when I was like playing with it when it was out of the gun. So I think all I need to do is, there's a little bend here. There's a little dog leg. It's just bend it at the dog leg and have it come out, and maybe bend it down just a little bit so that it's contacting that a little bit better. Because when it popped out, it was weird. And then I just popped it back in place, and it was fine for a little while. Then it came out a second time, which was kind of concerning. And it's pretty thin, so I don't think I can file that groove any deeper. So what I'm going to do is, anyway, I'm gonna work on that. Only other issue I had was my trigger finger, just where I grab it. It's right down here where the trigger splits between the trigger safety. So I've got that Glock finger that you get where you've got a little raw spot right down here. But that was by the end of the day. I mean, it wasn't really affecting my shooting. I just noticed it. The grip texture, which everyone thinks is too aggressive, I thought it too. But it's just like when you open a beer bottle. If you grip it tight, it doesn't move in your hand, and it's fine. If you grip it weak, then it's going to slide around and cheese grater up your hand. My hands, they're not calloused. I mean, they're totally fine. But I just had a good grip on the gun. So as far as shooting it, So I couldn't get any GoPro. I couldn't get any really photos because there were some people that were just not cool with getting their photo taken or having video done. But I did get a picture of a target. This was the last drill of the day. It kind of put together all the fundamentals and all the accuracy stuff we were working on. We started at 3 yards. You'd hear a beep. You had 3 seconds to draw and fire 2 rounds at the white dot. Then you take a step back, shoot it again, step back, shoot it again, all the way back to 20, 25 yards. So the guy next to me was one of the range instructors, and he had a $5,000 Cabot 1911, and I'm running this thing. And we were equal on time. We were both beating the beeps. But here's my target. So, you know, not bad, not great, but I think pretty good. And then this was his target. Not bad suddenly for a $500 gun. So, yeah, I'm really happy with this gun. I shoot it. The only other gun I shoot this well that I've had for a long period of time is my 1911. It's a Colt Officer I've had for probably 10 years. It's worn out, it's loose, but it works. And I shoot it really well. I don't carry it, I don't compete with it, I don't really do anything with it other than just shoot it occasionally. But this gun shoots that well. I don't shoot my Glocks as well. I had a P320, sold it. XDS, sold it. XDM, sold it. M&P Compact, M&P Shield, sold that. A PPQ, I sold that. A VP9, recently sold that and bought this. I'm keeping this. I really like this gun. I'm probably going to take all this down and stipple it up to about here and just do a carry stipple all the way around. Other than that, I'm not a fan of 3-dot sights, but man, they worked just fine. I'm probably going to change that out with a fiber optic sight, but I mean, this gun really doesn't need anything. If I can find someone that can extend these serrations up a little bit, up this angle, maybe I'll do that and get it refinished, but man, this thing is pretty much close to perfect out of the box. I don't even think I'm going to RMR this gun. My Glocks are RMR'd, but not running the RMR and going back to sights, I was surprised at how easy it was to shoot. So I might not RMR this gun. I might just leave it as it is. So, but I'm going to shoot another 500-600 rounds before if I can get 500 or 600 rounds through it, maybe 200 rounds of hollow points without any issues, I'll probably start carrying it, and probably come back with another update around 2000. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.